He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad.
Do you think he actually got injured or no? Or what do you think happened?
No, he's a little bitch ass. Dana shot him down in that interview. I was like, whoa.
You miss opportunities sometimes, and he did.
And you shit your pants. Know what I mean? That's what you did. You farted and followed through and had shit coming down your leg.
Major warning. What you're about to read might change everything you thought about the UFC lightweight division. The MMA world is absolutely exploding after Paddy Pimblett's career-defining destruction of Michael Chandler at UFC 314. But what happened after the fight has everyone losing their minds.
You plan to call him out?
Anyone in the top 5, lad, I don't care. Like, it doesn't have to be a certain person. Like, it can be Arman, it can be Charles, it can be Justin, it can be Dustin. I just want to fight whoever's going to get me to that title.
In a post-fight interview that's already being called the most disrespectful call-out in UFC history, the Liverpool phenom viciously targeted #1 contender Arman Tsarukyan, saying things we can't even repeat here. The Armenian fighter's silence since then has fans asking, is the UFC's top lightweight contender actually terrified of the Baddy?
Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? And probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting top guys, yeah.
Even more shocking, Dana White's reaction backstage was caught on camera with the UFC boss telling reporters, Paddy's not a boy anymore. What we saw tonight was a man ready for the title picture. Could this be the most explosive rivalry the UFC has seen in years? Is Arman hiding from Liverpool's rising star? Or is this all part of a bigger plan? What do you think about this insane situation? Would Arman survive against Paddy's new and improved ground game? Is Dana setting up the biggest title eliminator of 2025? Drop your predictions in the comments below and let us know if you'd pay to see this mega fight happen.
It is the king of the north, Paddy Pimblett. Welcome to the land of the elite.
Wow. Paddy Pimblett is an animal.
Oh, Paddy the...
This past weekend, Paddy Pimblett delivered what many are calling a career-defining performance against former title challenger Michael Chandler at UFC 314. The Liverpudlian wasn't just impressive, he was dominant, finishing Chandler via TKO in the 3rd round. But it's what happened after the fight that has the MMA community buzzing. In his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan, Pimblett unleashed a verbal assault on several top lightweights, including Arman Tsarukyan.
You still overeat when you go out to eat much? I know you've talked about it, and I fucking resignated with that so much. Like, if I get high before I go out to eat, like, and I'm getting a good cheeseburger.
Gluttony.
God damn it. It's such a pain in the ass.
When you're always dieting and cutting weight, do you think that makes you, like, more prone to doing that?
Dude, look at the reason Paddy the Baddy gets as big as he is, because it's like you get this mental disorder. I strict as fuck for about 10 weeks before that fight. Like, I'd have a little cheat meal on a Saturday, but the closer we got to the fight, 4 or 5 weeks out, I was just eating so clean to where right after, it's like I'll order 2 cheeseburgers, fucking some appetizers, and just eat until I'm so uncomfortable and so much pain.
Oh my God, look at Paddy. I'm gonna send you a video, Jamie, this dude.
And I know that's not good for you. How much he gets up to 200 pounds. That's like me getting up to like 190 or 185.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
It's sad. It's like
Clip Pimblett's post-fight interview. Let's hear exactly what the Baddy said about Tsarukyan. Arman, he's a little helmet. That sausage. While Pimblett showed respect to other fighters like Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje, he clearly has serious bad blood with Tsarukyan.
Arman's a little bitch ass.
Why don't you like Arman so bad, man?
He's a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him. He's got about 40 cars or something.
40 cars?
Yeah, something stupid like that. $1 million cars, lad.
You're a liar, Paddy.
Why have you not seen his Instagram?
No, he's rich.
Yeah.
Arman's a rich kid.
Yeah, he's a rich kid.
I had no idea.
Multi-millionaire, and his dad's got a big crazy business. He's a multi-millionaire. Never had to work hard for nothing in his life. Everything's being passed down to him on a silver platter. He's had everything handed to him. He even got the title shot handed to him, and then he shit his pants. All the doctors told him there's nothing wrong with you. can fight, and he shit himself. He got gifted the decision over Charles. I didn't think he won that fight. He just sat on top of him. You don't win fights anymore by just doing this. You know what I mean? Just got holding on to someone's guard.
I can't really judge nobody for that. I used to do that when I would get a little
This rivalry didn't start at UFC 314. In fact, these two have been exchanging words for months. Back in April, during an appearance on the Full Send podcast, Pimblett unleashed on Tsarukyan. The old guard of the lightweight division, they're all on the way out. In the next 2 or 3 years, the top 10 is going to look completely different. The only person in the top 10 who is under 30 that I can think of is Arman Tsarukyan. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad. He's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Arman, a little bitch boy.
The only person in the top 10 I can think of who's under 35 is Arman Tsarukyan. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad. Oh, he's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Arman. Little boy. And then he was doing them videos where he flips forward on his neck.
Right.
And then he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said, didn't he? It was like Dana shot him down in that interview. I was like, whoa, that's heavy, that. You don't want the boss saying that about you. But because he got asked, didn't he, is Arman still number 1?
Right.
And he was like, no, he's gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
He basically said that like doctors come out at Header, the best masseuse in the PI, come out and they never said to him, you can't fight. He decided he's not gonna fight. So basically, Arman, you shit your pants. Know what I mean? That's what you did. You farted and followed through and had shit coming down your leg.
Pimblett was referring to Tsarukyan pulling out of his scheduled title fight against Islam Makhachev at UFC 311 in January due to a last-minute back injury. The withdrawal clearly left a bad taste in Pimblett's mouth. He was doing videos where he flips forward on his neck, then he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said, Dana shot him down in that interview. That's heavy. You don't want the boss saying that about you because he got asked if Arman is still number 1. He was like, no, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Basically, Arman, you shit your pants. You farted and followed through, and now there's shit coming down your leg.
Paddy, on a Full Send podcast, you had some words for Arman Tsarukyan. What prompted you to say that, and did you hear his response?
Yeah, the seen his response, it tickled me, made me laugh. It's just being honest, you know what I mean? I'm just brutally honest, I can't lie. If someone ever get asked about someone, I'm going to be honest. I seen him say in an interview the other week that I don't watch anybody not in the top 5. I won't watch Chandler and Pimblett. Well, what are you tweeting me for then? You know what I mean? If you weren't concerned about people who aren't in the top 5, you wouldn't be tweeting me when I've said something about you. Like, people who say stuff about me, what are beneath me, I don't mention it, I just leave them to it. But, you know, I must be in his head. It's not my fault he shit his pants.
Tsarukyan didn't take these comments lying down. He fired back on Twitter. Says the guy who got the easiest path to the top in UFC just because he's got a funny accent and budget Beatles haircut. I dare you to call me out if you win, and we will see who will shit his pants in the octagon when we meet, clown.
Paddy Pimblett against Michael Chandler. You got Chandler, you got Paddy.
I don't know, they're both not good, so I don't follow them. I don't watch their fights because they're not on my level.
You only watch fights that are on your level.
Yeah, top 5 fighters or real contenders fights.
Who do you see as the number 1 pound-for-pound guy in the UFC right now?
Of course, it's John Jones.
John Jones.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We got to get him fighting Tom Aspinall.
That's the fight everybody wants to see, even me, because young guy versus like GOAT.
And those are the guys that are on your level, so of course you tune in and watch those types of fights.
Of course, like this fight, you can never miss it.
After Pimblett's dominant win and call-out, fans were eagerly awaiting Tsarukyan's response. But what we got was silence, at least regarding Pimblett. Instead, Tsarukyan posted a video of himself hitting the heavy bag with this caption. Many have been asking when the fight is. I am calm, training, focused, and waiting for my moment. Sports aren't always about fair, but I believe if you put in the work, don't give up and stay true to yourself, everything will come. The key is to be ready when the time comes. No mention of Pimblett, no response to the call-out, nothing. But Tsarukyan's fans were quick to take up the fight on his behalf. One supporter with the username @rogue.boss commented, "Paddy Pimblett needs some Lesion." Another fan, @Karamurat, added, "Now all your opponents will have even more respect." The question is, why isn't Tsarukyan addressing Pimblett directly? Is he strategically ignoring him, or is he genuinely uninterested in fighting someone who just entered the top 10? UFC CEO Dana White was full of praise for Pimblett after his performance at UFC 314. People keep counting him out, but he keeps looking better and better every time he shows up. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett showed tonight he's the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way he did, I don't know how you can't doubt the kid anymore.
Paddy Pimblett, what a performance. You know, pretty much every question you could ask about that guy now answered. You know, he beat one of the best in the division in Michael Chandler. Give us your thoughts on his performance. What do we do with Chandler now and everything about that fight?
Yeah, people keep counting him out, but he keeps looking better and better and better every time he shows up. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? Probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting top guys, yeah.
White made it clear that Pimblett is now in position to fight top lightweights, though he didn't specify who his next opponent might be. Interestingly, White had previously criticized Tsarukyan for pulling out of the Makhachev fight, stating that he would have to go back to the drawing board rather than getting an immediate title shot upon his return.
Pretty crazy morning for the MMA community.
Yeah, pretty crazy morning, but you know, we have the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world who doesn't care who's in front of him. You make 155, he doesn't care. You change the opponent. You can change the opponent while we're walking into the cage, and he's not going to care because that's how good he is.
Was there any thought during this camp that there might be any sort of injury or anything like that? I know you kind of always go into a camp being not 100% sure that your opponent is the guy you're going to see on the scale, but what was the thoughts during this camp?
Well, the thoughts was we make weight, and if he's there, we fight him. If not, we fight whoever's there. That's the mentality we have.
So where does this leave us? Pimblett's stock is at an all-time high after UFC 314. He'll move up to at least number 7 in the official UFC lightweight rankings, possibly as high as number 5. Meanwhile, Tsarukyan remains the number 1 contender, but hasn't fought since his win over Charles Oliveira at UFC 300 more than a year ago. He needs one more win to prove to the UFC that he deserves another shot at Makhachev after pulling out of their scheduled fight.
I'm not thinking about his power. I'm just going there and knock him out, and that's it. I want to take him down and smash him there.
What round do you think you're going to knock out Oliveira?
I want to knock him out in the first round. Because Islam did in second round, I want to show everybody I'm in a different level. So I want to knock him out in the first round and to show everybody, especially those guys who is here, I'm the best in this division.
Could a fight between these two be exactly what the UFC needs right now? Pimblett brings the star power and charisma, while Tsarukyan brings the elite skills and top ranking. The stylistic matchup would be fascinating. Pimblett's unorthodox, aggressive style against Tsarukyan's technical wrestling and striking. It's a matchup that could determine the next challenger for the lightweight title. The ball is now in the UFC's court. Will they book this potential blockbuster, or will they go in a different direction with both fighters?
Michael Chandler, this week, Paddy Pimblett's come out and called you a cheater and a dirty fighter, saying he might speak to the ref before the fight. Do you take that personally, and what do you have to say to that?
Absolutely not, man. Hey, listen, I've gone out and I fight. It's no big deal. We're going to go out there, we're going to fight. The referee is going to referee the fight. It's all good.
He's also said that you can't knock out a Scouser. What makes you so confident that you're going to be the first to knock out a Scouser?
Hey, man, he hasn't been knocked out yet, but he's also not been knocked out by these Jefferson County Javelins. The son of Mike Chandler Sr., a union carpenter for all those years. When I hit people, they go to sleep. I don't need a jingle to try to sell myself. You know who has jingles? Second-rate car insurance salesmen, ambulance chasers, and fast food. I'm the real deal, and the real deal don't need a jingle. I'm coming to steal the show. This is the people's main event, and I can't wait to do it. Let's go. I'm going to find that chin, and I'm going to find that chin early.
Obviously, we game plan for fights, don't I mean? You watch a lot of tape on your opponents and you study it, and that's what my coaches do, and that's why we get so many wins. There's There's a lot of tape that we've studied over his UFC career, and I've got so many different ways that I can win this fight. You know, everyone thinks that I'm going to get knocked out because I leave me chin high. But I told you, this chin's made of granite, lad. I'm not getting knocked out. I've never been knocked out before, but Mike has, and I'll do it again tomorrow. Well, Saturday.
One thing's for certain, if this fight does get made, the buildup will be explosive. Pimblett has shown he's willing to engage in trash talk, while Tsarukyan might just be playing it cool for now before unleashing his own verbal assault. What do you think? Should the UFC book Pimblett vs. Tsarukyan next? Or should both fighters face different opponents? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss any breaking UFC news.